Welcome to Talking Over You with Sarah Sturm
and Hannah Sturm.
Here we go.
If you're going to be an asshole, at
Be
least
funny.
At least be funny. I thought it was a mancoon.
We need to have like a real athlete on here. It makes me consider different careers every time I have to pee in my chamois. I might have to turn my...
I dropped something.
Okie dokie.
Okay. Hi.
Hi. Here we are. Recording again. We had a big week.
Did we?
Well,
I
you
did.
did. I didn't.
Yeah. That's so weird. I never have big weeks.
Oh, I was like, this is going to be rough. So this high energy episode is brought to you by... No, but for real. Thank you again. This week, we get to talk about Garmin, a great sponsor of the podcast and a great product. And fortunately and unfortunately, I have a personal anecdote to share. Last night, Dylan went on a pretty gnarly mountain bike ride in town that I was already a little uneasy about him riding alone. And just because he's the way he is. And he had his Garmin and I was like tracking his location on his iPhone. And I was like, okay, I see that he dropped in. I know about how long the ride is. And I was at home just about to start going out for dinner. And I got a text from Garmin saying Dylan has crashed. Here are his coordinates. And I was like, what? This is crazy. I've never like gotten sent that message before. And I was like, hopefully it was just like a nothing thing and it sent the Garmin off. And I called him a couple times and he called me back like right away within a couple minutes. And I was like, hey, or I texted him. I was like, hey, your Garmin crash sensor went off. Are you okay? And he called me and he had crashed and he was relatively okay. I mean, he probably has a mild concussion, but I was already in the car on the way because I was like, okay, if he doesn't text me back. So within 15 minutes and it's, 12-minute drive, I was on the way to go pick him up.
That's incredible. That's an incredible feature.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like one of those that you hope to never have to use, but thank you, Garmin.
I mean, that just shaves like, time off of what it would take to get there and, just go check things out and see what's going on.
Totally.
Yeah,
And
especially if you like don't hear anything back.
Yep. It sent me a text and his dad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Paul and I were texting like immediately.
Yeah, you sent me the like screenshot of that and I was like, oh, I assume you have that set up too. And then,
then I
2
checked
minutes later, I get a text that's like, be like the emergency contact.
Yeah. I was like, oh, whoopsie. So, hey, thanks, Garmin.
Yeah.
That's a great feature that if you own a Garmin head unit, or I'm assuming any Garmin cycling computer, that you can set that up in your Garmin Connect app. It's awesome. You can add up to 3 contacts. Choose them wisely. So, but yeah, thank you, Garmin, for that awesome feature and for supporting the podcast.
Yay.
We are very grateful for both of those things. Okay, let's get into the day.
So it turns out you weren't just throat sick, you were sick. Oh, we're still not ready to accept it.
No, I was sick. It sucks.
It does suck.
Oh my God.
You're not good at being sick.
Well, is anyone?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, some forced rest. I only canceled my plane ticket to Nationals yesterday.
Were you supposed to race?
Yeah, I was going to race.
Oh, okay.
And I was actually excited because it was like another race I hadn't done. But it was just like, it wasn't just the illness. Like I for sure, if I didn't have a couple of other bigger races that I care about more, like right after that and international travel,
yeah,
I probably would have just gone because I'm feeling better. Like I was able to do a workout, but yeah, it's really, gosh. Do you mind if we just get into this part?
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Well, it's hard. I think people assume that like when athletes, have stuff like this happen, it's just like easy to make that decision. To
of
race,
like whether or not to go or not.
Totally. Or any scenario. And I think it's just, you have, It's crazy. It makes me feel like I'm a high schooler again because I'm like, I know what the right call was, but I'm like,
what, like if you're sick and to go to class or not?
yeah, or like if you're sick and you have something you want to do, not something. It's different than like work, like normal work. Because like when I had a desk job, I was like, ooh, better not go in.
I'm feeling like I might get sick soon, so I shouldn't go.
Exactly. But with racing, it's really different because you're just like, most of the time sometimes you don't want to do it, but and sometimes it's very clear depending on how sick you are. But
I feel like I would be every opportunity I'd be like, oh nope,
not doing that.
Can't do it. Nah, I don't feel well.
But like sometimes it's just like there's so many variables, and like, you know, this was a very mild head cold, but it can turn into a sinus infection. It can, then you're just like, it doesn't make sense if I'm like, I haven't trained in X amount of days. Am I like getting flat? And like, are you, you know, even, is it even worth
getting flat?
Like with your training? I don't know. It's like, like you're not as sharp.
Oh, you're dulling out.
Yeah.
Well, you're getting kind of dull.
It's a dull
you don't
moment.
seem as shiny.
No.
You seem a little
Shiny.
flat.
Matte finish.
Yeah, you've got a real matte finish to you.
She's got a patina. So yeah, it's just like, so then I'm like, I'm an adult. Like I can make these decisions, but then you're just like, I don't know what to do. I should probably go to, you know, Minnesota and then travel home after the race the day after, and then the day after that go on a European trip.
I think you've gotten a lot better at this. This is something that I feel like, wow, you've really developed
growth.
You can not go to things when you're sick.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, I feel like you wouldn't have done that.
Sometimes you can race through it. And like sometimes, like if nationals were a big focus of mine, if it were more important than like Rancho Gravel and Big Sugar, I would have just gone to nationals. But it just depends on what your priorities are in the race season. Like a couple weeks ago, I guess Christopher Blevins was sick for a World Cup. And then, you know, a World Cup is like, everyone, you have to do those basically.
So this is the thing that doesn't make sense. One of the things that doesn't make sense to me in cycling. Because
let's get into it.
Yeah. Based off of the names, I have no idea which one is more important than the other. Because I hear nationals and I'm like, that probably sounds like a bigger race than Rancho.
Valid. And to some it might. Gravel, just put gravel as like the outlier. Because like nothing makes sense in gravel.
Isn't that all we're talking about? It's really, it's all I can grasp at this moment. We can start bringing in different, okay.
Gravel, well,
Was Nationals gravel?
Yeah.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is gravel's really different in the things that are more important. Like Unbound gravel is like gravel world championships. Like Unbound is the biggest race for a gravel racer. Bigger
than world championships.
In some ways, I would say world champs is obviously like up there but yeah, no, that one's really tough. That's what I'm saying. Gravel is really different.
Yeah. Like Big Sugar is a big one.
Yeah.
Well,
but
it's in the name, you know, big, but little
big sugar. But like compared to remember UCI racing? So other disciplines like road, but road, it's kind of like the Tour okay, here we go. Unbound, in gravel racing, Unbound and World Champs is like comparing the Tour de France to World Championships in road. So like the Tour de France is arguably the biggest cycling event in the world, right? Mm-hmm. But then you also have World Championships, which is a big deal, but like less, you know, world known by like everybody. Like if you say cycling to just like a random person on the street, they'll probably say like Tour de France or Lance Armstrong, annoyingly.
Yeah.
Not a shout out to Lance.
Whoa.
No shout out.
Yeah, but we definitely wore Livestrong bands. Remember when those bands were such a...
Yes.
There was a band for everything.
I remember this girl on swim team.
Bands all the way up your arm?
Yeah, I could barely get mine on my hand, my fat little hand. And she had it on her ankle.
Oh,
that girl, what was her name? She was a really fast swimmer, and I just like really looked up to her.
Because she had an armband on her ankle?
I think so.
Wow, she's tiny little ankles?
Fit.
Whoa, she's got itty bitty ankles.
And she could like hold her breath. We would do this like really like fucked up challenge in swim team. We're like, okay, kids, hold your breath as long as you can.
Pass out in the pool.
She passed out.
Oh God.
Yeah. we were
really
like,
competitive.
Go. I think her name was Emily, but we were like, go Emily. And then she just like starts floating.
Oh my God.
We're like, oh no.
Oh God. Ooh,
anyway,
kind of competition.
Live strong.
Yeah, live so strong.
But yeah, so I would say mountain biking, like at the World Cup level, what they say, because that's kind of unfortunately the only mountain biking that is like, happening right now. American mountain biking used to be much bigger, but a lot of those races have gone away.
Why?
Oh boy. You want to get into that?
Not really. I don't know.
I don't really know the answer.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's a little bit interesting because like gravel is often compared to mountain biking as one of the like newer sports, even though mountain biking is not super new. But like mountain biking got like really big in the 90s and 2000s, and like people were making a lot of money. Industry was like going strong, and then it all just kind of like it grew too quickly and too big. So it just kind of burned itself out. And like, I think gravel in some ways is on a similar trajectory potentially. But some of that is fueled by like COVID and then the decisions during COVID within the bike industry. Everyone seems to have made similar bad decisions with their businesses of like, wow, this is great. Let's just order more.
Oh,
I mean,
I don't understand. Like,
and now like the industry is kind of suffering a little bit, but people still love riding bikes. People still show up.
That's the thing is like, I don't like you say that like mountain biking, like the racing side of things, but that doesn't make any sense to me because I feel like more people are doing all of these things now, especially after COVID. So it doesn't make sense to me that it's not a bigger.
Yeah. I mean, when I say not bigger, like mountain biking, well, there's a couple of factors with mountain biking. The racing in the US is pretty much gone. There's like a couple big races left, but like races start folding basically. So I'm talking about the race side, not necessarily like people buying mountain bikes.
It just doesn't make any sense to me, like why they're not, like there isn't a correlation or
between what?
Between the race side and the like.
Oh, well, I mean, think about it. Like Sarah Knight, my friend who, has always been my like token non-cycling friend, which is not true anymore. She just bought a new Specialized stump jumper. Good. And she's super into bikes. She like lives in Durango. Well, now she sort of is. Like she had a 10-year-old bike and then just upgraded. And my point is, Sarah Knight loves riding mountain bikes. She like has friends who do it. She's best friends with me. So like by proxy, I guarantee you she couldn't tell you at all who a top mountain biker is. And she lives in Durango. Not that she's not smart. She just like doesn't care. And there's plenty of people like that who participate in the sport and gravel who have no idea who any pro side. So there's always a division between like people who participate in the sport, like all the older folks on e-bikes out the valley.
But you don't think there's like a correlation between like people getting into the sport and then like the race side of things growing?
Yes. And that's sort of what happened.
Is this a sports podcast?
Oh my God. We are really doing that category proud.
Wow.
I think this is a record of...
Have we ever talked about something this seriously for this amount of time? It's like, why am I so bored right now? Oh, because we're just only talking about cycling.
Boy, I feel my eyelids slowly closing. I must have put too much mascara on. Oh, no.
I was just bored.
Just bored.
Wow, this is incredibly boring. I'm sorry. What were you saying about the correlation between...
Oh, my God. You got turned down. Turned.
I think you just...
No, I saw it flashing red.
Oh. This is my cackling.
Yeah, just go like this when you cackle.
Like don't tell me what to do.
I do.
No, you don't. I heard you cough into the mic.
Lily, whose mic is hotter?
Sarah was coughing into her mic directly into it.
Okay.
I wasn't going to say anything because I don't want to micromanage you.
Wait, I had a good point.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just got bored.
Oh, so the sport follows where people are spending money. So this is a great example. So in COVID, like people are locked the F down and bored as hell, as we are on this podcast right now.
I can
They're
relate.
like, you know what sounds good? I'm gonna do this new challenge and buy a gravel bike. And the industry, like it was nuts. People bought some bikes. They bought some bikes.
I think all of the outdoor industry, because at that time I was working at Alpaca Raft and the pack rafts. never, it was the most insane. And I was in customer service and just like order input. And, you know, you got what was the stipend or what were the checks called that we got?
Stimulus checks.
And they were like
stimulated you.
They stimulated so many people to buy a pack raft. So I think everything in the outdoor industry just like exploded. People were like,
totally.
I guess we should go outside.
That company Peloton, the like indoor bike.
Oh yeah.
Company.
That probably
huge. And I think they're like under some serious agua.
I don't even. Okay. Underwater.
Yeah.
Okay.
So everyone like bought gravel bikes, and then people were like, wow, the bike. And I mean, I honestly was like waiting for the call from Specialized. Like, sorry, we're going to have to let you go.
Totally.
You know, I mean, we're not racing. Like what value do I have? Like other than my social media. And then they were like, wow, industry's doing great. Like keep on keeping on.
Crazy. Yeah. There was like that weekend where it was like,
and then the Lifetime Grand Prix started like
right after
2021.
Oh, okay. That seems like it's done a lot for gravel.
Yeah.
Right?
Or wait, maybe it was 2022. Yeah, it has. It has. And American bike racing.
Yeah.
You know, for better or worse.
Is it only for Americans or there?
No, but it's all in America, which is cool because
Yeah.
that's usually not the case. Usually Americans have to go. Although, you know, Europeans seem to do quite well at Unbound.
Yeah.
There hasn't.
Did you just say has we? Has we seen a winner that is not? You see how I coughed away from my mic?
I had my eyes closed. I thought you tooted.
No, I coughed away, but I did fog up my glasses when I coughed.
So we're sorry, everyone, for the disgusting ASMR. Oh my God. Sidebar. I have to tell everyone the story about you and Jeff coming home from the airport last night. Hannah and Jeff get back from this trip to, I don't even know, Montana?
Yellowstone, yeah.
Yeah, sure. And they get back at like 10 o'clock. They had gone to pick up some stuff from the grocery store, some dinner stuff, because they had some tight connections. And then they're just both standing. Like Jeff didn't even say anything.
He didn't
literally
say anything getting in the car either.
No, he walked in.
Literally, like I have a rolly bag, like a Topo rolly bag with the like
handle,
and he threw it in. I was like, could you just take 2 seconds to put the fucking thing down? He was like, he didn't say any words on the whole drive.
That would make me so uncomfortable. So anyway, they get to the house. Hannah and I are kind of chatting. Jeff is literally just silently housing the crunchiest Caesar salad, housing it and then farting the entire time.
That's how he communicates.
It was a test of, you know, my gag reflex. And love. I really should have just put myself back to bed.
And yeah, that's honestly how the entire weekend was.
I was like, oh my God, this is a lot for my ears.
It was a lot.
But we'll get to that. So back to...
Oh God. Go ahead. Back to...
Well, I was going to make a point and I can't remember what it was.
It wasn't important then.
I mean, some of our listeners might find it important.
Probably not.
Anyway, being an athlete in these times is really interesting, I have to say, for everybody. You know, I think, well, I could get into that, but I probably shouldn't. Nah.
I do. Was there a Lifetime event?
Oh,
was there a race? Should we go back into the race things, or do you want to?
What were you going to ask
about? Was there a race this past weekend?
Oh yeah, there was. There was a Lifetime race this past weekend. Shawamigan.
It's crazy that from me doing the like stutter thing that you didn't get that was what I was asking.
Well,
you should have known better.
No, my mind went to like Lifetime Grand Prix start. Like we were talking about like that stuff in gravel racing, you know, and how it infused a new. I don't know.
Nothing. She's got nothing.
Yeah, my mind just was like. I couldn't
completely blank. You looked like it too.
I was trying to say like joie de vivre, but that was.
That's what you were.
That's why I went so blank because I was like, boy, that's not how you say it, and that's the wrong thing.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a zest for life. But anyway, Lifetime Grand Prix, for better or worse for us, it was like this new big thing in American cycling that as mountain biking and cyclocross really have been taking a nosedive over the last decade or so, meaning the professional side I'm talking about. People are still, people are sadly not buying cyclocross bikes because that is a very specific thing. Gravel pretty much killed cyclocross bikes and then therefore sort of killed the sport of cyclocross in North America. You can still very much race high-end cyclocross in Europe, but there are like a handful of races left in the US where there used to be a whole like USGP.
You want to explain to my people what cyclocross is?
Oh my
In a couple
God.
of words.
Boy, this brings me back to like flying to cross races and sitting next to people on an airplane and they're like, what do you do? And I just ended up telling people that I was a teacher.
Not just like, I'm an athlete.
So cyclocross is a circuit race where there's a lap and you're on a hybrid bike in that it looks like a road bike, but it has thicker tires so you can ride it on dirt. The whole circuit is pretty much on dirt. And then there's usually these like barriers, like these little short like barriers that you
like
have to run
horses
over.
jump over.
Yeah, exactly. It's like equestrian, but for people on
corsage.
bikes.
No,
Or
decoupage.
Dressage.
Dressage.
Got it. Dressage. Glad you cracked yourself up.
I did. It's funny.
See, and I just went to paper mache.
Yeah, Mod Podge.
So it's the paper mache of cycling.
Got it.
And then, you compete on a circuit for 45 minutes and then basically the one who crosses the line first wins. And sometimes you have to run.
And you have to carry your bike.
Yeah. And then it's usually muddy because it's in the like winter season. So it's usually like the worst weather. But it's really spectator friendly in that like it's a really exciting thing to watch. Unlike gravel.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me.
Not fun.
Yeah. It's like 7 hours of, the same right turn.
Oh, they're turning right again.
They're turning right again and again. So anyway, this weekend was Schwamigan, which actually, funny enough, really reminds me of cyclocross because it's in the Midwest and it's very like, it's a huge local race. Like everyone in that area in Hayward and Schwamigan zone in Wisconsin they're like.
Spell Schwamigan.
Chequuemegon.
Oh my God.
I know.
That was really good. Sorry, I thought I was gonna.
Schwamalama ding dong.
You could ask me to spell it now, and after you just spelled it, be like,
everyone just calls it Czech. CHEQ.
oh, okay.
Anyway, which, I think a lot of people were really upset that that's still in the Grand Prix. Not because it's not a great race, but it's like there's no coverage. Like sponsors are like, ugh, why is this still in it? I just saw a couple people's posts like, we can't watch it. There's no broadcast. Like the coverage was terrible, but
It's not even on Flow.
Nope,
Not
on the
period tracker.
So, but there was some great racing. Melissa won the women's race with a 4-minute gap. There's like basically one big hill called Fire Tower Hill, and that's where everyone goes. And she went and then had to keep her gap, which is kind of gnarly. It's a pretty short race too.
Is it? How many miles is it?
I think it's like 60 miles or 40 miles, but it's fast. It's like, it's actually, there's this famous cross country ski race called the Berkey Beander. Anyway, Berkey.
Okay.
I always thought it was in Albuquerque.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Berkey. So it's this big race on the same course, essentially. It's like all these like rolling grass hills, but in the winter, it's like it would be such a gnarly course to ski. So hard.
Ugh.
Yeah, you would hate. Hannah hates skiing.
I don't hate skiing. I don't like going downhill. Are you talking about cross country skiing?
Yeah, I feel like you didn't like that either. You just don't like when your legs can go in 2 different directions.
I love cross country skiing.
Oh.
I just don't like going fast at anything I do. And so the fact that I can't like brake, like it's like You have to. Honestly, cross country skiing is a stupid sport.
I love it.
I do
think
too.
I love it more
but
than
I think
biking.
it's dumb. When I have to go, like I like when it's like either just like flat or like a little bit of uphill. But if it's too much uphill or too much downhill, I don't like it.
I feel like a lot of people can relate to that.
Well, because it's fast and scary, and like if you don't have edges, you're just like.
But you like snowboarding.
Mm-hmm. Well, because I have edges, and I know how to slow myself down.
Well, you have edges skiing.
No, not
you do.
Countries. Not
Yours
really.
do.
Not metal edges.
Yeah,
Well, well, yeah, but these are brand new. Got new skis, and it snowed 0.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be able to use them this year.
I love cross country skiing.
Well, isn't that cute?
I do remember being insanely frustrated when I first moved here. Well, 2 things. When I first moved to Durango from Albuquerque, I was like, I was a snowboarder, really bad snowboarder. But then I moved up here and everyone's like, oh, let's go cross country skiing. And I had done the like classic skiing, but everyone here, because they're psycho athletes,
right, skate
skis, and which is a very different movement, which is, you're like pushing outwards instead of just shuffling back and forth,
right?
Like classic. And so I, of course, signed up at the fort to take some classes. And I mean, I'm an athletic person. I thought I couldn't, like the first 2 times I went, I couldn't even like make my body move forward.
Yeah.
It was I was getting like, I could like feel my tips of my ears getting hot. Like I was getting so frustrated. I was
welcome to how the rest of the world feels about everything. I'm like, I'm not even going to try.
The fact that I didn't throw a ski is actually miraculous.
That is shocking to me. I've seen you get real frustrated. You throw a lot of things when you get frustrated. Checkers? Could not play checkers growing up. But then we would play with we'd play any kind of board game or something with Mom and Sarah. Like if
this is fun for me.
I hated playing games with you because it was like, okay, so like if I'm winning, you're losing it, right? You're like so pissed. You're throwing the board. Can't have it happen. But then if we're playing with Mom and she is losing, then you're upset about it because you're like, oh, sad. I want mom to win. So then but you don't ever want me to win.
No,
never. You never feel that way about me losing. You're like, good, lose. We don't play games. We don't play games.
We can still play games.
Just that one. Anyway, Schwamigan.
No, I feel like we should explain to the public that I'm not actually that big of a psycho.
You are, though. Do you want to? I can dig my heels in deeper. You are crazy, and anyone who's ever tried to play games with you knows this.
No, I can play. What's the game that we play? I know Settlers of Catan.
Yeah, but you still. Have you ever won? Not when we play with Jeff.
No, I don't like playing with. It's just not fun.
Playing games with Jeff is always really hard. I remember the first.
He's also competitive.
He is definitely competitive.
Mm-hmm. Sarah Knight and I can't play games together.
I could see that not being a thing.
We tried to do Spanish homework together one time in college, and we were like, okay, this is not good for our friendship.
I remember the first time one of the first times Mom met Jeff. It was like for Thanksgiving, and we were playing Bananagrams. And all she said was, I just want to know how your brain works. Because he ended up having to like handicap himself in playing that game because it wasn't.
With what? No eyes?
Yeah, I think he was like only 2-letter words. He is an insane game player. We play a lot of cribbage.
I like Settlers of Catan. My friends Noah and Sparky, I'm sure, like if they're listening to this episode, they're gonna be like, "Oh no, Sarah sucks."
The worst. She's the worst. Anyone who's ever played a game with you,
equally as bad as me.
That sounds like a terrible game night.
Yeah, and we play all the time. We play this stupid game that is everything I'm bad at. It's like time and making maps and a plan.
What is it?
I don't know. It's dumb. It's like with train stations. I'll have to. Oh gosh.
Sparky, I want to teach you how to play cribbage because I think you would hate it.
Yeah, I like Settlers. I could get down for that. Yeah. Actually, I'm excited for cross country skiing and Settlers of Catan.
I know. I'm kind of excited that it's getting cold. It's freezing in here right now. I feel like my hands are purple. Your house is always so cold.
You complained about it being too hot last time.
Well, I don't regulate my temperature well.
So Schwamigan, Melissa won.
Okay.
And Alexi won the men's. Alexi's a boy.
Okay.
He's the one with the wiener dog, Cyrilli.
He's the one with the wiener.
That's how you know he's a boy.
The wiener dog.
He'll think that's funny.
Dachshund.
Yes. the Dachshund that I was listening to Giggly Squad this week, Hannah Berner pronounced it Dachshund. She thought it was...
She's a cat person.
Clearly.
I heard it and was like, that was wrong.
Oh my God. I think she got lit up on social media.
Yeah, probably.
No one.
Can you name one breed of cat other than a Maine Coon?
Maine Coon's a cat?
What? We had that whole episode. We talked about this.
No, I know.
What do you
guess
think it was?
I just wasn't thinking house cat.
Huge house cat.
I know. I was thinking like lynx. Anyway. No, I can't. Tabby. A Orange. So good job, Alexi. And...
and right back to it. Sports podcast.
And Melissa. And there was also World Champs. Oh boy, here we go again. World Championships cross country mountain biking Olympic distance.
Didn't that already happen?
No.
Oh, the marathon.
Good job.
26.2.
Yep. Nope. But yeah.
Yep.
So the Queen Jewel. No.
The Queen stage.
The Queen stage. No.
I'm just applying everything I've learned.
I know. It's all wrong.
Got a bad teacher.
Yeah, you do. Good luck.
I know. I'm not going to get anything right. Good thing it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, it truly doesn't.
Oh, it really doesn't matter for me.
Let's see. So there's the pro race, the elites, and then there's the U23 race and juniors. And a young American girl got second.
American Girl
doll in second place in the women's race.
Where was this one?
This was also in Switzerland. Beautiful. It looks beautiful out there.
Cool.
And then, Blevins had a tough one, but I appreciate his perspective on things. He's, Christopher has had an insane season. Like he set some record earlier this year of like he was winning like every short track race, which is I don't think anyone's ever done that before him. So he was like on this like fast track of like winning everything. I'm not sure if he's winning the overall, which I'm not even going to begin to explain to you, but yeah, he had a tough day in the office. Sevilla, who went, I don't think she ever graduated from Fort Lewis, but she went here. And her and Cole, her fiance, who's in the Grand Prix. I can see your eyes glazing over.
Can you?
Yeah.
I felt it.
I can feel the glazed donuts that are your eyeballs right now. Anyway, I just wanted to give a good job to Sevilla, who got fifth in the world at World Champs.
That's great.
Good job, kiddos. Great. Wow. Moving on. Okay.
Bike stuff.
Yeah. Ugh. Well, we got past the boring part of
Thank
the podcast.
God. Are my people still here?
Okay, wait.
Keep listening.
You just traveled.
Yeah.
This was something on my list from last week that I wanted to ask you about.
What?
Okay. Have you seen people with the Google glasses or the Meta glasses or whatever the hell they are? It's freaky as hell.
How do you know?
You don't.
No. Oh, so then maybe I have.
You might have.
I did see a guy in the airport with Jeff really saw him, but he had like a neck thing that holds his phone out in front of him so that he didn't have to use his hands while he's walking in the airport.
To film?
No, to just look at his phone.
Oh, yuck. We have yucky. No.
And then there was another guy.
I don't like that.
We'll get into all of the national park stuff, but a guy with like a 20-foot selfie pole that I...
Oh, God. Oh, I bet you saw some serious selfie sticks. Oh, you don't think that they exist until you go to a national park.
Think that, I just can't imagine not feeling self-conscious.
Totally. No, people do it shamelessly.
Shameless. The gimbals and stuff that people have to walk on a boardwalk.
Oh, I think about this. Who's watching this footage? I see
watching this?
I see guys in Moab. They're usually the ones that hop right on in front of me at a trail junction. They let Dylan go and then they hop in front of me and then proceed to just ride so fucking slow.
At least they're on a bike.
And then crash. And then they always have, and then they're always surprised. I mean, now they'll probably think I'm a boy, so they'll let me go, but
no, they won't.
No, they won't.
Well, a boy, like a young boy.
Yeah. A junior boy.
Yeah. Small boy.
But yeah, they always have GoPros on, and I'm like, who's watching this footage of you on the bike? I barely like watching. Dylan made me watch his crash from last night.
Ugh.
Didn't like that. Well, he just wanted to see how he crashed, which is fair because he bent his like iron crank arm or something. It's not iron, but steel.
his cast iron crank arm. I don't know what a crank arm is. I just go with it. Well, he seems like it should be lighter than
I don't know
cast
how
iron.
I crashed because my left crank arm is bent, but I'm pretty sure I clipped a rock on the right. But we watched.
Is that what
footage.
your pedal's connected to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Gross. Yeah, I don't want to watch that. No, people like, and the cameras.
Oh,
I went to Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Which we've never like, our family didn't do national parks.
No.
Like we always
went
had
to San Diego.
I know. When Mom and I were so it was me and Mom and Jeff, just the three of us, which is a funny combination. The three of us travel quite well together, but it was a funny scene all of the time. And then we ended up meeting up with Jeff's friends, a couple and their girl who's like 7.
The girl. And the girl, their home girl.
Their child. I guess that would have been less weird. Yeah. And we camped with them. So we were there for 4 nights and camped for 2 of the nights and then had weird little cabin things on either end, which was a funny scene all around. But we didn't really do national parks growing up.
No, I still don't really do them.
I think that's the first national park, like real national park.
Right. Well, we've been to Arches and stuff.
Well, sure. But this was the first national park that exists.
In general.
In general. This is the very first.
Cool.
It was.
You know, I have a hard time remembering, and I know Yosemite is in California, but my brain does a weird thing. It's like with 4s and 7s. I like mix them up.
With national parks and 4s and 7s?
No, Yellowstone and Yosemite.
Oh, I do too. I've said Yosemite a couple times.
And then I think of Aaron Canale who says Yosemite.
Oof. Yeah. No. So we went to Yellowstone.
Yeah.
You would have hated it.
Why?
You would have hated it so
Why?
much. Because they're people. I mean, there's a
Oh,
reason.
no, I would have.
No. Sarah, you would have hated it.
Really?
Yeah. You would have hated it. I mean...
Okay, everyone, I would have hated it.
You would have hated it. I mean, you would have thought that the places that like were cool, but you would have been so distracted by all of because there are so many people and it's such a crazy, and this is like almost like off season too. Like it was, like chilly and rainy.
Are people being like disrespectful? Because that's what bums me out. As long as everyone's being respectful and like not yucky.
Mostly
I've done the Grand Canyon. Like Dylan and I hiked I showed Dylan the Grand Canyon years and years ago, like a decade ago, and there was like 5 million people. And I just went into athlete mode and I was like, well, I'm going to beat them all down there and then back up.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's like it's definitely like way less athletic than the Grand Canyon too, because like it's just like these boardwalk, and they're like, granted, there are a lot of different ways that you can do.
Yeah.
You can like, a lot of people fly fish there. That's like a big thing. There are backcountry trips, but we weren't going to take Mom on like a.
Did you see any like influencer girls from like LA influencer girls?
God, yes, of course. There was one girl. So like, I feel like the first couple days.
I feel like I actually would. You just have to go.
Oh, we laughed. I laughed so much.
You showed me the one clip.
I did show you the one clip that was really funny. But then there was one like, so there are all these different stops, right? You like drive to like a different like this place with like all these different like thermal features, and you're watching these geysers and these like crazy bubble. I mean, it really is incredible.
Sidebar. This is related. I just saw on like the national parks Instagram, they like showed a photo of all of the hats that they retrieve from the geysers.
There are hats there's a hat in every fucking geyser. It's ridiculous. That part's insane.
So open up a hat stand similar to the underwear stand in the airport.
Yeah, people are always losing their hats. So everything was fine until like we can deal with the people. Most people keep to themselves and fine and respectful. And then this one stop on like the second to last day, I don't know what it was. It was like all of the crazies had come out. There were these very done up women who were like influencers who would tell you to move so they could get the shot. And I was like,
see, that would actually.
That one, yeah. Oh, you would have hated it. Then there was this guy, and they're like,
did you ask him how many followers they had?
No, they were definitely not from the US. There are a lot of Euros, but there was this guy, we were like, had just started, there are tons of people around. He like leans over and lets out the biggest fart. Huge. No concern for anyone else that's around him.
He did not come from a fart shaming family, I guess.
He did not. He was
like our family.
I don't know what was our family. It was the craziest thing. So that's how we started out this walk around, and that just was like it escalated from there. It was like,
was that every hike you could go on? It's all just
no.
people?
I mean, there are other hikes. We just didn't do. We did like we wanted to go see all the things.
Yeah, cool.
And honestly, I didn't plan any part of this. Jeff, little tour guide Barbie. Oh my gosh, you would have. Jeff talked more than I think I've ever heard. Like he is
more than he did in the kitchen.
Oh my God. I think that's why he was so silent in the kitchen, because he talked all weekend. That's
cool.
He just studies maps and he just remembers everything. So like he knew all of this. I mean, he hasn't been since the 90s, but I can like picture, so he's a volcanologist. Like that's what he has his PhD in.
Oh, I just got really nervous if we didn't hit record. We did. Whew.
Oh, good. Yeah. So it was cute because it's like I can picture little Jeff like going and seeing this when he's like, I don't know, 10 years old or whatever, and just being. I mean, I think it like, shifted things for him, and
that's why
science boy.
And that's why national parks are cool.
Totally. And that is like the thing that I kept coming back to, of just being like, ugh, there are so many people. But I was like, ugh, there's so many people. But also
a lot of these people will be stoked on their experience and hopefully go into preserving these natural spaces.
I did have an incident. It's funny that you told that story. Not I. Oh, thank God.
Oh, no. God.
It's funny that you told the story about the bathroom in the airport.
Oh, no.
Came across some poopy panties. Yeah, Jeff was like, come over here. And I was like, an animal? Is there a bite? Like, I'm like, an antelope. It was not. It was just like an entire roll of toilet paper and poopy panties on top, 10 feet from the fucking parking lot.
Women's or men's?
Women's.
Oh, all right. So we got 2 on the men's side, 1 on the woman's side.
Super disgusting.
Wow, yucky.
Yeah.
People are wild. When Dylan and I did that, the Tongariro crossing in New Zealand, we saw some shit, literally, just poop
everywhere.
Yeah, that is the bummer.
That is a bummer.
Yeah,
it's super yucky.
Like people, you guys,
and like you can definitely like the bathrooms
clean it up.
So gnarly.
You know what? Fine. If the bathrooms are yucky, at least it's in one space. But like, don't just be pooping out there and leaving it.
Yeah.
Other people see it.
It's
clean
yucky.
Clean up your poopy panties, please.
Clean up those poopy panties.
PSA for poopy panties.
Jeff, Jeff loves this kind of stuff because he like was like, go look over there, and like got a video, and I go, oh my God, are those poopy panties? And then you see Mom just like,
oh yuck. Yeah, people are foul.
It was fun hanging out with Mom. She loved it. She cried so hard in the airport when we left. I mean, she had such a great, she's 73.
Yeah.
And like had never seen any of this stuff, and just to be able to like camp, she was so happy. She snored so loud. She was in the other tent, and I was like, you good? Like there were a couple times where I was like, I haven't heard Mom snore. Like I haven't heard her move, and then I'd hear her snore and be like, she's good. She's totally fine. Because it was cold and I was worried about all the things. But she did really well. She did, however, she got lost.
Oh no.
Like proper. Not for long, but long enough to where it like freaked her out and it freaked me out. She like went off to go pee. And this is like a like little trail to get to like the boardwalk that like on the other side of this, like, there's like woods and stuff, but on the other side is like the highway, right? So you can hear cars. She went off to go pee.
She froggering her ass across
the highway. Well, I was like, damn, where the fuck did she go? I'm whistling for her like I'm whistling for the dogs. And then we like hike. I was like, okay, well, I'll just go back to the car, because maybe she just like went back to the car. And then she like came out and she looked like a little freaked. And I was like,
how many minutes had it been?
8. Probably. I don't know. Not long, but like long enough where I was like, she got eaten by a grizzly. They're animals.
Here's the thing. Mom told me 2 things. Well,
Did she tell you that she got lost?
No, she didn't. She just said not to believe anything you say.
Believe me, she got lost.
I am going to believe Hannah on this one.
Yeah.
And I don't think it has anything to do with her age. I think that's just a feature of Mom.
That one seemed a little age related. There are other things that don't seem age related, but that one did. That one did. Yep. That one seemed like that was because she's getting
Norman
a little...
sometimes does that. He'll like go pee and then like literally go back to the trail and then run the opposite direction.
Wrong way. Also an age thing.
No, I think it just, I don't know.
Yeah. So that happened, but she was fine. Everything was good. The place. This is the last thing I have to say. Well, We listened to a lot of Alanis Morissette.
Oh, why?
Jeff, that was Jeff's request. It was kind of the vibe. We just sang in the car and
I mean, gosh, I really could. I should have been the one singing. I was, meanwhile, sick and just, I felt like I was addicted to my phone. I was so bored, but then I was like that terrible combination of like sick, bored, and stressed.
Oof.
And I just like couldn't even like read my book, and like I was just like so bored of social media, but I was just like I felt like I was glued, especially with everything happening this week.
It's been a big week.
Ugh.
Yeah. So let's have some levity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it made me think about like just how our family deals with stress and social media in general. I was having a conversation with a friend who's just had a baby, and she and I were just like chatting about stuff, and she was like, oh yeah, you just seem like you have it all together. And I was like, wow, I know, I literally in the same thing. Like couldn't be further from the truth, right? But then I'm like, I mean, we're not like super close. We don't talk a ton. So we just like see each other's lives on Instagram.
Yeah.
And even though I feel like I try to like share as much reality as possible of my own life, you know, I can't and choose not to, because like I don't need to be chronically online.
It's a fine line.
It is. And like, there's only so much stuff that's appropriate to share publicly.
Totally.
I mean, for me personally, not for others, but like, and then I just kind of feel like I'm doing a disservice, you know, to the people who follow me. And I'm like, it is oftentimes actually not very fun and really stressful.
What, like racing bikes?
Just I would say existing.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
I think in general, like humans are just like, we're not like pre-programmed to just be happy. Like I think just happiness is like a fun little fleeting moment and then you're back in it.
Yeah, I think like suffering is like the universal thing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's what we're all in.
Yeah, not to get too in it, but like
it's essential. Yeah,
but I also think like we're good, and like the reason that people always just think I'm happy, I mean, I am happy most of the time, but like, or just a positive person, I would say. But I do think things are funny.
It's funny. I was talking to my therapist about this, about like how the women in our like lineage, the way that we have always dealt with everything is to like feel it and deal with it, but really to like spin it and make it humorous. Yeah.
I mean, Mom, when we shared our first few episodes with her of the podcast before it was launched, she texted me and she's like, you're her aunt, so like my great aunt Sarah, was it her aunt? Yeah,
I don't know,
it was her aunt Lorraine's sister, the woman who I was named after. She was like, she was the funniest person ever, and it's like
what
laughter
happened
as I am. And she said I'm following in her footsteps. And she said it's just been a huge part of our family, and that like, I mean, yeah, Mom getting lost is really sad.
Well, we laughed about it.
It's super sad, but it's also really fun.
Well, I told her she lost her potty privileges.
As long as she's not tossing her poopy panties in the...
No, she did, you know, she's always cold, right? And so she'd start out every day in her like long underwear under her like hiking pants. And then at one point she went and changed, and then she had them wrapped around her waist. So, I mean, not far off.
Mom is really fashionable.
She is.
And I had to learn that like when I was a teenager, like, you know, complimenting someone else, you know, like in their outfit. I'm like, oh my God, my mom has the same sweater, like as a compliment.
Totally.
And you're like, oh my God, no, that's a compliment.
Yeah,
sorry,
like, that's
like,
a really
my mom
good
is
thing.
really fashionable.
I do think this trip was really good for her in a lot of ways, because I think it was pretty confidence inspiring. One, because she was like traveling, and camping is a big deal for her, and she hasn't done it in a while. And I think that felt really good. But also, and for me too, just to see general public and be like, oh,
she's fine.
Well, I mean, we're all like, how important it is to continue to move.
Yeah.
Because these are like little, people
you
were
heard it here first, guys. This is
puffing.
actually a health podcast.
We're in the health and wellness section. Find us in sports and health and wellness. Yeah. I mean, but I do think, you know, because people her age, I mean, she's fine. She's in incredible shape.
Yeah.
But that was scary. It's pretty wild to see, but they're out there doing it. And so that's
Yeah.
Great.
So good job, everyone who goes to the national parks.
Yeah, but not the poopy panty ones.
Nope.
Bad job.
Bad job.
bad job.
Okay, back to the Google Glasses.
Okay, Google Glasses.
Wow.
Google Glasses.
I feel like I'm really doing a good job bringing us back.
Wow, you're so on top of it.
Well, no, that's just never a strength of mine.
Somebody did text me and they were like, listening to the pod, and they were like, despite your sister's ADHD, she does a good job of like remembering to come back to things. And I was like, yeah, it's crazy.
Thank you.
Yeah. So there you go.
Oh, great. Thanks. I really love that validation. Mm-hmm. I sat next to a guy on the plane and I was like, where is his music coming from? Like I could hear he was listening to like Bon Jovi on takeoff, and everyone was like kind of looking around, and I'm like, okay, so it's not just me. Like he didn't have headphones in,
Clearly.
but it wasn't coming from his phone.
Oh.
And I think it was coming from his glasses.
Or are they like are they tinted?
No,
like,
they look like those.
No.
And so now like influencer people, that's how they're getting the POV shots of like going shopping, but it's freaky as hell because people don't know if they're being filmed. And you see them on men.
Ugh. Well, of course. Creeps. Ew. We were in the hot spring and this guy had his like snorkel and goggles on.
That's so insane.
Well, yeah, that's the first.
What?
Yeah.
You're definitely not supposed to put your head under. And I'm sorry, I feel like people are under there.
Well, that's the thing is like I could see his head turn and I was like, okay, I gotta sit in a different direction. I like had my legs up.
Yeah,
and
you were
then
like crisscross apples.
And I went,
That's nuts.
Isn't that crazy? He sucked up some water with a snorkel.
Did you just hold his snorkel on?
No,
God.
Weird. Yeah, it's a weird scene.
Oh my goodness.
Mom had to get out because this guy kept like and she was like, I can't handle this.
Wow, she should have been in the kitchen last night.
That's what she's been dealing with. It is so funny. We
Oh my
all
God.
slept in the same room, you know. Like,
Yeah, I saw. Speaking of panties.
Yeah. Well, at least he had underwear on. Yeah. But yeah, it was Jeff had his little underwear on, and
Sorry, Jeff.
Mom was just laughing. They have a really funny
Yeah.
friendship and relationship
Yeah,
that
that's
doesn't
great.
include me at all. And
Yeah, I
that's
told
great.
Mom, I was like, yeah, boy, I didn't even get an invite on this trip.
Honestly, I'm lucky that I did. You would have hated it.
Yeah.
You would have hated it.
I think I would have had fun.
Parts of it. I think you would have made it harder. I think you would have made it a little less fun. Well, I think you would have hated
That's
the people so much.
mean.
Sarah, this is one of those like self-selecting things where you needed to look at it and be like, that's not for me. I'm going to make everyone miserable because cannot stop judging. Sorry, I glitched. Judging the people. You would have hated it.
Okay.
Okay. What else you got?
I've made it through my list.
Nothing else about Google Glasses?
No, I just have a chunk of travel and racing. I mean, I have a lot of thoughts about bike racing and all of the things.
Wow, let's go back into it. No, so you leave for Spain next week?
Yeah.
And you're gone for a couple weeks.
Yep.
You have a big race?
I have a big race, Gravel Earth final. Although no one's really totally sure on how the Gravel Earth points work. They're not as thought out as the Lifetime Grand Prix, I have to say.
The points?
The point system. It's like certain races are ranked with like higher points. So like me getting third at Traca 360 is weighted higher than getting second at Traca 200. So, and then like there's a handful of races that are called 20% races that are worth more points. So it's like Traca 360, Migration Gravel, Oregon Trail, and then like Iceland, maybe the Rift. I don't know. It's really confusing. And then a bunch of other ones are like 10% races. And so like it can all, and you have to do 4, including Rancho Gravel. So
is that how it works with the Lifetime Grand Prix? Or they're all, it seems like that.
No, it's
they're
totally
making
different.
it harder for themselves.
Yeah. And like last year, I mean, I was grateful how the point system worked because that's how I could get second. But they weighted Rancho
You
Gravel.
like the point system when it works for you?
Well, no. I told them that it was silly last year because like they basically made the final race worth like double. everything. And that was the race I flatted in, of course. And
is that how it is this year too? This last race
no,
is worth
it's worth the same as like the 20% races, I think. I don't know. I'm not totally sure. And like, this is where I just like, if it's hard for like the racers to follow, I don't think like the fandom is going to be there, you know, like
totally.
I also don't really think people generally care even about the Lifetime Grand Prix.
I was going to say the fandom. I got stuck on that and was.
No, that's what they say. I mean, like when you apply for the Grand Prix, because you have to apply, which is a very hot topic in the cycling community.
Why?
Well, it feels exclusive, and it is.
Yeah,
and
how do they pick who's in it?
Well, it's
how many followers do you have to have?
That's what a huge argument was when it started. Yeah, they were just like, oh, this is a social media competition, because like a lot of really good cyclists weren't selected.
Whoa.
Because, you know, whatever, for whatever reasons, age maybe could be part of it, like who knows. So it's all like, it was very like hush hush behind the doors, like, you know, no one really knew how people were getting selected, which is a big deal because like, especially in the men's category, like there's a lot of dudes that apply and fewer women for sure. But like, it still is like, I mean, it's a big deal. So over the years, they've like, that was like the biggest thing when it first started. They were like, you know, a lot of people applied and a lot of people didn't get in.
So you applied?
Yeah, everyone. Well, I was an idiot. So
okay,
here we go.
Say more.
So I had heard of this race, and I think a sponsor, maybe it was the feed, like was like, hey, would you guys just post about this race? Because maybe or like it was one of my sponsors was also a sponsor of the Lifetime Grand Prix, and they're like, would you post about it? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like read 2 sentences of the whole email that explained everything, I'm sure. And so I posted like so excited to race the Lifetime Grand Prix.
That's why you got in, because they're like, well, shit, she already said that she's in it, so now we have to let her in.
I had no idea you had to apply. Not a single clue until I got like 100 DMs, and they're like, how'd you get in? How do you know? And I was like, oh my god, and deleted it immediately. I was so stupid.
Oh god, they're like, never mind.
Nope, she's too dumb.
She's dumb. We cannot have her. She
read.
probably is fast if she's that dumb. She's just all that blood's just going to her legs. I don't know if that's a thing.
God. So yeah.
That's really funny.
I know. I do so much
stupid.
of that. So dumb. What were we talking about? Oh, so the Grand Prix fandom was like a question
Good
every
job.
year.
You have been on top of it.
Wow.
You must be feeling better.
Did I take my ashwagandha?
Maybe you took the thing that makes your veins itch.
Oh,
nope. Never mind. You didn't take it.
no, I didn't.
Okay. Sorry. Fandom.
Beta-alanine.
Fandom.
Yeah. So there was always a question like, how are you going to help fandom, like the American, like the fandom of Lifetime Grand Prix?
That's weird.
I don't ever remember what I said. By posting the wrong things.
By posting that I got in before I got in.
Before I knew you had to apply. Yeah. But I also kind of understand. I do get why you have to apply, because the races that are in the Grand Prix, specifically Unbound and Leadville, are so hard to get into for the general public.
What do you mean? Like you
can't just like sign up for those races. There's so many people who want to do them.
What?
That for like Leadville you have to qualify. And
okay, well, that
they're
makes
also
sense.
like talking about like Unbound this year there's always some drama about Unbound. There's always like the mass start was big drama for a couple years, and then it was the mud was big drama, and then it was something else this year that people always love to hate on Unbound. And
drafting.
Yeah, drafting is always a big hot topic. And then exclusivity, is always a big thing. Oh, safety. That's what it was this year.
Oh, third. Yep, safety third. Yep, that's right. How can I forget?
So yeah, safety was a big thing. And that was when I was like, having gotten crashed out of the race, I was like, yeah, I feel like it could be safer probably.
Yeah.
But they're talking about doing qualifier races and having like in the pro elite category, which I agree with. Like, I'm sorry, Unbound is a huge, as we talked about before, it's a huge race that like your life can change after winning it.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah, so these races, that's why they did the application process for the Grand Prix, because basically you're guaranteeing 30 men and 30 women entries into these. The thing I miss the most about not being in the Grand Prix, truly, is not having to think about signing up for races. Because the number of races I've been like, oh, shit. Oh, actually, I don't know if I signed up for Rancho. Yeah.
What? How do you not? Okay.
But yeah, so for the Grand Prix, you don't sign up. You just like get in and they sign you up for everything.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
But now you have to do it all on your own.
Mm-hmm. And getting an entry is hard. Like I had to like.
Really?
Yeah. I had to like pull some strings for sure.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And Leadville. Usually
What?
Specialized is a sponsor of Leadville, but they weren't this. Of course, the one year that I do it and like.
It isn't like, hey, you've gotten top 10 in the last couple of years or whatever
No.
it is you're in.
I mean, they like people know who I am. So like. I'm not just like
they know me. You obviously don't know who I am.
But I'm saying it's still like I have to request favors from people or like, and I'm still like paying for the entry. I'm just like securing an entry.
Whoa. The politics.
I know.
We have so much to talk about with the politics of it all.
Yeah.
It's crazy that people care this much.
Oh, people, I mean,
it's your job. I get that.
No, people really like, they're like cult classic races. Like Leadville is wild. Like people do like qualifier races and like Maud was doing some crazy shit with the, like you get a coin if you finish. I don't know. There's like coins and belt buckles and
what does
galore.
a coin have to do with?
I don't know.
Oh, the lore of it and kissing the
you
rock.
Like qualify.
Do you kiss a rock? Is that just a
hard
running
rock.
thing?
That's hard rock.
Whoops.
That seems yucky though. Can you imagine like finishing and then like having to kiss a rock?
It's just gross.
See a lot of broken teeth.
Just a lot of gross lips on there.
Yeah, it's so bike racing is alive and well. I mean, there's like 5,000 people that want to do Unbound still. So
5,000 people.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's a few.
It's crazy. I mean, it's a crazy thing to finish.
Yeah.
In Mid-South, huge.
Yeah. That one looks like fun.
Yeah. It's not really a course for me, but the vibe is all-time vibe.
Honestly, we're just going off of vibes here.
Yeah. Bobby puts on a big party, basically for himself, which I really can appreciate. And they have like great graphic design, which I also love.
They do. Mm-hmm. Yep. Good shirts and stuff. Good
and
merch.
Good, like there's always like art shows and
cool.
Yeah.
We love it when things come together.
I know. I don't know. I think that's why I like the gravel scene because I mean, I understand how it's getting professionalized. Because it is, and like there's a lot of money that's going into the sport and brands want to win and they want their athletes to win, so now they're doing everything that it takes to get their athletes across the line first. So there's like a lot of pressure, there's a decent amount of money going into making sure those people win, but then there's also this like fun creative side still too.
Good.
That doesn't so much in my opinion exist in like the thicker the rule book. And I'm not saying like I actually really do appreciate rules because for the most part they keep us
You're lying.
safe.
So full of shit. Okay.
Well, I've come a long way with that. Like,
good.
Truly, at least in cycling, because I'm like, yeah, this needs to be fair.
Sure. In cycling. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, we're focused on cycling.
Compartmentalize that.
Yeah. No, yep. G and I talk about this a lot. Big rule, like if the rule is it, like the last thing I would want to do is get disqualified from a race. That would be horrific.
Totally.
Like, oh my God, back to swim team. I remember like if you didn't have like a perfect
you get the
two-hand
DQ.
The DQ.
And it was a long,
it was a lot of shame.
Yeah.
That's what blows my mind. Like that Lance Armstrong just like blatantly cheated. And the craziest thing is he's still relevant. Like he has a really popular podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That like shows on like the tour.
Wow.
And there's still a lot of people who love him. So sorry if you're a Lance Armstrong lover, we're not.
Sarah is. I don't know anything. I don't have an opinion.
Like he cheated.
Yeah. I do know he cheated.
Yeah.
Cute bands though. Love the band.
Love the bands. Love those bands.
I hope those don't come back.
No, I think they're back.
What?
Yeah, I feel like I see like people wearing the little rubber bands.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. Around their ankles or on their wrists?
Well, depends on what their ankles look like.
Not a chance. All right, yeah. So you got big race coming up. Couple big races coming up.
And then Dylan has a big race if his little kepi is better. I flippin' la, la, la. I just had like a bad feeling about him doing Halfland yesterday.
Ugh.
And like, God, yeah. When he was watching that, I was like, could you at least turn the sound off? He was like, like panting, like, you know, he was like, oh, I think I was going to get the KOM. And I was like, okay, well, if you're concerned about your KOM, you're fine. But
King of Mountain.
Yeah.
King of Mountain?
Yeah. Dylan only cares about the downhill KOMs. And I think he has a lot of them in town. But yeah, like Halfland's like a gnarly ride to do solo in the evening. And he rode it from town. So.
Yikes. Well, glad he's okay.
Big tree fall hard.
And thank you, Garmin, for sending a text message so that you could go pick him up.
Yeah. And what I thought was interesting, because like I was curious about that feature going off. Like when he's just, because he's like such an aggressive mountain biker.
Yeah.
That I'm like, surely he's ridden like bumpy enough trails where it like gets rattled enough to like, you know, activate that. But this was the first and only time. And he rides with the Garmin every single ride. So
crazy.
I think it really works. But yeah, do you have anything else?
I got nothing.
Really?
I got nothing.
God, I feel like I had so much to talk about.
What else did you have to talk about?
Well, I just feel like I just had such a like
boring week
that I thought about so much stuff.
Yeah.
And I really wanted, I don't know, I guess I really wanted to talk about like the like, I don't know, the darker side of like athletics and sport of like, I finally listened to a cycling podcast. Because I was like, oh, I'll do some research, and I listened to the Bonk Bros.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily like my genre of like they talk a lot about like tire tread and tire compounds. So
oh wow,
that one I definitely was like, okay, skip. But I really appreciated like hearing from like one of the guys who's on the podcast, Dylan. He races in the Grand Prix. And I think we're like potentially the most opposite type of bike racers. Like he's like super into the like the bike nerdy stuff. But he talked about like reading one of like Keegan's posts. They basically just talk about Keegan a lot, but it was like after Keegan had won a world championship, and they were just kind of saying like, I guess Keegan had like a bad Cape Epic earlier this year, which is also a mountain bike race in South Africa at the very beginning of the year. And Dylan's perspective on it was like, because he shared like after he won his world championship a couple weeks ago, he was like, you know, after like now he shared like that after Cape Epic, it was really like he wanted to like retire from mountain bike racing. And he was like, I guess I'm not a mountain biker. And Keegan started out as a like cross country mountain biker and like, you know, moved into gravel and had a lot of success in gravel. And so I think this is just my hot take. I don't really know Keegan that well. I know him well enough, but I think a lot of his identity was still wrapped up in being a mountain biker, but then he is just naturally good at like the long distance stuff. And, you know, he has been dipping back into some mountain bike racing and hadn't been doing very well. And I think it was like a really big blow to his, you know, identity and confidence. And I say confidence, the dude like basically doesn't ever lose. It's insane. Like there's no one, like people beat him at Unbound because they can kind of like single him out and no one lets him get away pretty much.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's crazy. But yeah, Dylan Johnson was like, he was like talking about like how he wanted to quit, and Dylan's perspective, he's like, man, if I wanted to quit after I got a bad result, I literally wouldn't start any bike races. And he was serious. And I was like, God, that's such a good point. He's like, I think most bike racers experience like feeling deep failure. And like, I mean, I'm filling in my own personal side of it, but it's like, I think most races that I do, even the ones that I win, I'm like really disappointed with and in.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't won like I haven't won a big race in a long time, but like, it's hard. But then like, of course, like my, you know, a top 5 or a top 3 or top 10 at like these big races is a great result for some. Yeah. And it's just like, it's just hard. 'Cause you're like, I think it's just some people have like a growth mindset
Yeah,
about
totally.
it. And I think your age and experience in the sport is, you know, goes into that also. But like for me in gravel race, it was just like nice to hear that like Dylan was like, man, I like, you know, he just got like top 20 maybe at Schwamigan, and he got like 20th at Leadville. He also got hit by a car earlier this year.
Geez.
So he's like,
Ugh.
yeah. But yeah, it's just, it's really, really hard.
I bet it is like, it seems like for people who are like consistently in like top 20, you know, but maybe haven't been in top 5 in a whole season.
Yeah.
You know, like how you continue to keep going.
Totally.
And I don't think that hasn't applied to you yet. So I wonder.
Well, it will.
Give it time. Your turn will come.
Your turn to suck will surely come.
It's on its way.
I mean, but it's so true. Like, yeah, there's just no perfect season.
Well, I think that's where like being a well-rounded human being comes into play, and where it's like, okay, I have all these other things and I can still like gain some kind of enjoyment from this, or I can get something from it other than a result.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, what like you've been working on kind of in the background and developing for years, is like how to like gain.
I mean, I've always had my priorities, but I think similarly to like, I want to be
Keegan.
Yeah. I want to be so clear. I'm not comparing myself to Keegan.
We know.
In my accomplishments, because I can't. And that would be a stupid thing to do. But like,
you're hard on yourself like that though.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I mean,
but it also like,
season's been rough.
I think you go through these interests, like watching you do this. It's like the initial feeling is the like, I'm just going to quit. I'm bad at the, but then I think that also there's some weird like motivation behind it too.
For sure.
That like you have to feel sorry for yourself first.
Yeah.
And like feel bummed about it, which I think is appropriate, but then it motivates you to do more.
I know it does. And like, I think this time of year in the season is really hard because you're like, you're tired physically.
Yeah.
You're pretty tired mentally, I think. But then there's like, sometimes you feel like you're running out of time to get a good result, which is like a really crappy feeling.
Yeah.
And then it's also paired with like, for a lot of us, I think I mentioned
signing contracts
too. And like, you're just like, no, remember I got 3rd at Traca earlier this year. And like, you know, it is just how it's
super
goes.
mental.
It is. And it's like, yeah, I mean, professional sport just feels like this thing where like you can be working so hard, putting everything into it, doing all of the things right. And then you just, you know, don't get the results and you don't get signed, and you do not get rewarded for your hard work at all.
And that's why you work on being a well-rounded human being, so that you have
I mean, I would say I'm not. I think
you're not a well-rounded human being.
Totally.
That's what you're saying?
Yes. I could be better.
Do better.
Do better.
Then do it.
Be better.
No, I think I think it's impossible to be fully well-rounded right now, because you can't be, because your full focus, or most of your focus, has to be self-centered and on cycling, and like you can't show up in the ways that you normally would if you weren't a professional athlete. And that is just what we all have to deal with in being in relationship to you. But I mean, you can't do that. You're super focused. I think for the level that you are at in your sport, you are good at being well-rounded and keeping a life.
It's a pretty low bar.
It is a kind of a low bar, it seems.
I mean, I think about, well, there's also this like, it's not a theory, but it's very, very common for like athletes who, you know, get the Olympic gold, which is like for most the pinnacle of achievements in, you know, one's career, and they achieve it, and then they have just like horrifically deep depression afterwards.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's
because you're just like, you do the thing that you've been so focused on and working towards, and you're just like, okay.
Well, and young too, you know, you like, for most athletes, you know, you peak really young, and then you have your whole life, and then it's like, well, now what?
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, and I think Kate has been digging out from that because she had a lot. Courtney.
Okay.
She had a lot of success very young, and she's this incredible athlete. And that's why her setting the Leadville record and then winning this world championship is sort of finally this like new leaf that she's been able to turn over, because she's, I mean, I would argue, especially for Americans in the spotlight, she's probably under the biggest and the the most intense microscope. Yeah. And she, you know, for years has been searching for this, you know, similar result to like her younger self success. Ugh. You know, I mean, so gnarly to have that type of pressure so young. And like the pressure, I was looking back at some of my journals and I'm like, yeah, I think being a professional athlete, even just like trying to be a professional athlete is just, it's just full of a lot of anxiety and self-doubt for, I think, most. Which is like, I think the reason I wanted to say all this is because it's very like top of mind. It's a lot of the time what we're thinking about in general. But then it's really hard to put all that into an Instagram post.
Yeah. I mean, I think nobody really has an idea of what's going on in anyone else's life based on, and like your job, it's still a job and it's a really hard job. Like, I don't see it as glamorous at all. Like, I don't think it is glamorous. It doesn't seem glamorous.
Not everyone everyone wants this. It's like from The Devil Wears Prada. Haven't you seen that? Like, everyone, don't be silly, Miranda. Everyone wants this life or something like that. But anyway, it's like, yeah, I mean,
not everyone wants
the
that
lifestyle
life.
Is awesome. Like, I love getting to like work on things and try to like be better and do better. And like, yeah, it's awesome to like get to focus on my health and my well-being and, you know, meet all these people that are also focused on that. Like, there's just always a really challenging side, because like, you know, when I got third at Traca, I remember someone wanting to come up and talk to me and they were like so excited for me and I was so disappointed. Like, I felt like I failed huge. And like, yeah, I got basically 3rd out of 3 in the sprint again.
Maybe not your thing.
No. But yeah, I mean, it took me like a long time to, you know, I'm still not over it. But then you just kind of have to find different meaning in that. Like, it's really not about your finishing place, even though it is. It's really, it's so hard to decode, because like, yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, my sponsors expect me to do well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that is,
and at like, the end of the day, like, it's a business. I'm sorry, like,
it's performance based. Yeah. You know, like, it can't just be like character based. You know,
yeah, totally.
It is based on your performance.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I'm, you know, all of us are trying really hard.
I mean, they're also like, you're typically like in your 20s and early 30s when you're doing this racing, and like, there is a similar thing just for everyone in their 20s and 30s of this, like, trying to figure out where you fit in and working really, really hard at whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah.
And like, not feeling like it's paying off. You know, there is like this, whatever career you pick, there is that time in your like 20s and 30s where you're like, or maybe it continues, but just like trying to figure it out and like working really, really hard and feeling disappointed and feeling like you're like, I know that. I know exactly what that feels like.
I mean, I that's why I quit racing cross country mountain bikes. Yeah. Because like, it was miserable. It was literally not fun at all. That's why I started it's supposed to be fun campaign years ago. And that's how I got back into cycling. Cause I quit and I like, you know, went full into desk job. Hardly, but
yeah,
but yeah, I just, you know, I just recognized that was not an enjoyable, like, no part of that process was enjoyable to me whatsoever. And then when I got back into racing through cyclocross, I mean, it's dumb because like, a lot of people like ride in like jean cutoff shorts now, but like, I have this like annoying...
There was a guy who got into the hot springs.
Oh no.
Jorts. Old guy with like huge white mustache. Not sure if he had teeth. Jorts.
Whoa, no stretch, like, I bet.
Oh, definitely not.
Like
They were like
full,
Levi's, like old
heavy
or like
cotton.
Wranglers, just
Yeah.
like, yeah. Jorts in the hot springs.
Whoa, I bet that was so uncomfy.
Ugh.
Can you imagine like
heavy.
having to step out
Yeah.
in cold denim?
Ugh. Sounded terrible.
Good
Anyway,
for him.
sorry.
What did the snorkeler guy think?
Different hot springs.
Oh.
We went to a couple.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I just too long don't listen version of that is it's hard. It's hard to figure it out.
Wow.
And like what I was going to say is like I talk to a lot of younger athletes about this stuff all the time because like sometimes this is a crazy trajectory, but like trajectory. Sometimes when you're a younger athlete, like you get signed onto these big teams with a lot of support, or like it looks really fancy from the outside, and it's this like terrible, toxic team situation that's not actually conducive, and there's a lot of pressure. They're really young, whatever, like for whatever reason. And then, their good results quickly fade and they like plateau or like have a tough season and it's really cutthroat. And then they either, are never seen again in the sport, or they kind of like weather the storm and come back in and like decide what is a conducive setting for them to perform well. Because there's all these like puzzle pieces. It's not just about like, are you eating the right stuff? Are you taking your itchy vein beta alanine? Are you... whatever, all the things. It's like, okay, before the race, am I in a fun household? For me, like, I'm like, if I'm talking about like too much bike race stuff before the race, I'm not going to have a good one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't usually look at like course profile, like that stuff. It just makes me have more anxiety.
Yeah.
And I do better. I perform better. I already have enough race anxiety.
Right.
Like I have the nerves. Check.
Well,
down.
and all of that is just stuff that like,
but I figured
everyone
it
has
out.
to learn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't
totally.
know. Just, one sick week.
Yeah, boy, you've had a lot of thoughts. Oh, let's hope you get back to racing.
Yeah, Lily, feel free to cut all of that. I know I'm so bummed to not be at nationals, but go team.
Whatever, you got another race next week.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, now I'm done.
Oh, phew, okay.
Wow, we had 2 boring sessions for you.
I glazed over. That was very sporty.
Yeah.
Just to hit my foot.
Get away.
Okay.
Okay.
And Gordon's barking,
And
so
Norman. Cue Norm.
Okay. Woo.
Wow.
That was a lot of barking.
Sorry, we had a little Norman intermission. Thank you so much to Garmin for supporting this episode and for also keeping Dylan safe. No. For throwing out a nice... I'm looking at you.
For helping you to go pick him up and keep him safe. I mean, that is an incredible feature.
Yes. Thank you for
when the worst happens.
Yeah, for having smart people making smart things at Garmin to keep people safe. Thank you so much. I wanted to talk about another one of... Well, I talked about the Index Sleep Monitor last week. Oh, I guess since we're on safety, the Varia radar. So Garmin has these different radars. There's 2 different ones for the rear light. So one's just a red blinky one and one is a red blinky one with a camera. And then they have a front camera that has a front blinky light also. But these are amazing products that also syncs with your head unit. Even if you have a different brand head unit, like some of them will also sync. But I can literally see when a car is coming up. It'll show up on the side of my screen as a little dot.
Whoa.
And then it'll show it approaching. And if it's orange, it's like a medium pace. If it's red, it's going fast. And so you don't have to turn around to see when a car is coming. It'll beep once. It'll have a different tone and it'll beep when it passes. And it's like one of those things, like a friend, long before I was sponsored by Garmin, my friend had one and we were riding in Santa Cruz and he was telling me about it. And I was like, oh, that's like, we were riding through the city and it was like, beep, beep. Like there's a lot of traffic. And you're like, okay, this is kind of a silly thing. It's nuts. Cause then we got onto a road and we immediately it's crazy how quickly your brain goes into other things and you're not actually thinking about traffic when you're riding. And it would beep, like we're on this like road, haven't seen a car in 30 minutes, and it would beep and you're like, oh my God, yeah, got over immediately, didn't have to look around. And I was like, I'm getting one, and I bought one for myself.
Yeah.
So they have a front one also, and then a camera too for you know, hopefully it doesn't happen, but it'll record.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
thanks, Garmin.
Yeah.
Such clever products. And thank you for sponsoring this clever podcast.
This was really sports oriented, so
Yeah,
that works
sporty.
out. Sporty. That was a sporty space episode.
All right, everyone, go seize the day. See you next week.
What did you want to say it in French?
C'est la vie.
Okay. Well, bye.
Bye.